Today we'll be talking about the 1920s, aka the Roaring Twenties. So the first slide we'll be talking about is technology in the 1920s. So there was a reason for it being called the Roaring Twenties due to the fact that it was the time of new inventions right after World War One, as soldiers were wanting to go home for a more beneficial life than in the military. So therefore, the new radio, the silent movies, and Henry Ford's automobile industries were created just for them, I believe. The radio was a popular choice between people because they could get access to listening to the sports, concerts, and the Red Menace. So basically, the Red Menace is pretty much a worldwide spread of fear of communism and archaism. Archaism, I think, is what it's called. The second most popular thing was the theaters. It was really popular amongst some of the people, as the wealthy people would mostly watch it. Some others would just not even go to it. It was introduced 2 years right after 1920. Also, in the 1920s, it was a advancement of science and medicine, of which helped deaths by diphtheria, a serious infection caused by strains of bacteria called, I'm not even going to attempt to read that. It makes poison. And it lowered thanks to the immunizations that was introduced. The second slide we'll be talking about is the fashion of the Roaring Twenties. So in the 1920s, the choice for women were loose dress waists, sporty sweaters, and tassels and long necklaces. So tassels were pretty much like earrings, but just imagine a pom-pom attached to your ear, but it was sad. That's what I can describe it as. There's this man who is a fashion designer, I believe. He said he saw a connection between then and now, and it seems like most people who like to go into the fashions would test the boundaries of clothing. There's parallels in the fashion trends, and the more luxurious fabrics were the more appealing way of showing off. The third slide, we'll be talking about the music, entertainment, and pop culture and the fads. Fads is pretty much just another word for trends, what was popular back then. It was okay, so in this year, 1920, the most popular genres of the music were swing, jazz, country, traditional pop, crooners, and big band. The famous artists, of which this is not all of them, but this is 3 of the many. It was Rudy Vallee, Cab Calloway, and Fred Astaire. And there were many more, but if I fit all of them into one thing, then it's just going to take too much room. There's also like I stated in the first slide, the popular form, which was the radio. If not all homes, most homes had radios, and its sales reached $423 million. There's also economic growth that swept so many Americans into an unfamiliar consumer society. It was basically a big boom, a movement of the women's big movement, which led to the 19th and 18th Amendment, which gave women rights to vote and more freedom. Also, I forgot to state in the second slide that there was going to be flappers in there. I don't know what happened to it, but I guess it didn't even apply. I guess I accidentally lost it. So basically, there were supposed to be flappers in here. If you don't know what a flapper is pretty much what we call a teen, a really rebellious teen in our day and age. They would smoke, drink, do unladylike things. They would dress more boldly as to express themselves, and with that being, they created a movement where it made the 19th and the 18th Amendments, which gave them the free right to vote and other few things that I'm not going to list. This was also a time for economic growth, which is like everyone got more richer, bought more technology, had more fun. So yeah, overall, the 1920s was actually a pretty cool timeline. It was like very interesting to research about. And here, these are the like first sources for the slide, the second and the third. Here's some music and stuff, but yeah, you can go ahead and just copy it here. Thank you for watching. My name is Leroy Lee, and this is my research on the 1920s.